the committee has noted there has been tremendous progress on the sentiments that have been aired out there. And in particular, you will note that the Deputy President last evening on his return from his trip outside the country did admonish some of those people who are being insensitive to the difficult issue of the cost of living. And therefore, this committee has even noted that very good progress from none other than the Deputy President. Positive intervention by the Deputy President to call people to order to be sensitive to the issues that His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka is speaking about, the issue of the cost of living. And because as a dialogue committee, we want to continue appealing to all sides in the political divide to exercise restraint and to afford this committee the time and space to engage on the very important issues that are before us. And we commend the actions that we have seen so far.
My name is Melita Oletenges from NTV. My question is, you said among the stakeholders that will appear before this committee is the IBC selection panel. My question is, will this then mean that the process will start afresh if the deliberations come to that?
The process to begin afresh of the selection panel? Yes. I invite them as stakeholders. Please note the word stakeholders, because they are stakeholders. And since we do not know what will come at the end of the process as major stakeholders in the process, that's why we are inviting them. And as I said, amongst others.
My name is Chacha from K24. Last week, you and your co-chair appeared before, or rather met the National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula with regards to funding of this particular committee. Perhaps how much are you looking forward to get? And also, as Kenya Kwanza leaders, you addressed concern or not at least spending much on this particular committee. Are you also willing to forfeit perhaps your allowances should that money come?
Is that myself or the committee?
So I can prepare the ground for Kimani. He had actually offered to buy tea and stuff. I'm sure he's still committed.
So Chacha, that is to me as a co-chair. His Excellency has answered for me. And just for the record, we do not attract any allowances in these sittings. And in fact, as we closed, we appreciated the sacrifices, especially made by both our technical teams, the Secretariat, and all these members who, on their own account for the last few days, save for one of our NGOs that have facilitated our being here in terms of the tea that we also invite you for at times, and the occasional lunch you will see. We did meet, as you rightly say, with the Speaker of the National Assembly, together with the co-chair and two other members of this dialogue committee and two representatives from either side on the technical team, looking for support because, as you will appreciate, this process will also require resources. For instance, the stakeholder engagements that we intend to begin next week, we require a bigger room. This conference room has been paid for by one of the benefactors who has supported this dialogue process. We will also be engaging with other stakeholders in terms of looking for financing of this process, even from the civil society players who may be willing to support towards the budget of this process. And therefore, as you rightly say, Chacha, we met with the Speaker of the National Assembly. We did plead with the Parliamentary Service Commission to see if they can spare something from their budget. And we have also reported back to this committee that the Speaker did receive us very positively, and is among the issues that we are looking for support as we appeal to other partners and friends of the committee and people who believe in this process to support to ensure that we are able to conclude this process successfully without any hindrances as to in terms of budgets.
Perhaps to quantify how much did you secure?
We are yet to get any amount guaranteed to us, so I can't give you figures. We are looking for money.
We didn't secure anything.
We have not secured anything. That's what I'm telling you, Judge. In fact, I'm speaking to you. If K24 could be willing to chip in. You are also Kenyans, and you have a stake in this process. So we are appealing for support for the process. All these people you see here, the technical committee, the secretariat, are very busy professionals who have given us their time, some from their very busy professional engagements. The amount of paperwork you see, all these things you see here have to be paid for, including these facilities. These are public facility. We will not be here if somebody has not offered to pay for it.
I'll just take clarification on close question. Last Saturday, as new leader of the Bigger said they are still collecting signatures in a function that was also attended by Patrick Kalonzo. I'm wondering where does that place you given us
I can tell you that is not for this forum, for sure. Yeah, so let's restrict ourselves to matters that are before the committee.